So, this is going to be a video about what I have in my Cadet Army webbing. So, this is it here. This is some Combat UK airborne webbing set that I got second hand on eBay, because this stuff's expensive. It's about £115 I think. So second hand, pretty good. So it's got quite a bit of weight to it, but when you put it on and you've got the shoulder straps on around your waist, it's not actually that heavy. So yeah, so we're going to go from, we'll go from this side. So firstly, I've got my two ammo pouches that I always keep empty because you're given magazines, as you can see. Now on the side of this ammo pouch, I have got a Viper dump pouch. So with this toggle, once you've been firing your rounds, when you need to change your magazine, sometimes it can be a pain trying to get a magazine into a small pouch like this. So that you get this, you pull it down, you've got a nice big pouch you can put your magazine in, and that will keep it safe. You can also use this drawstring, so you're going to just pull it through and that will keep it in the pouch, and it just stuffs away into there like that. I'll leave that out for now. Just here, I've also got two glow sticks. So I've got it on a piece of wire. So if you're in a building, you're clearing it, and you need to put a glow stick down to show a door is clear, you simply just pull it, and the wire should tear through the bit of plastic, and that's an easy way to get the glow stick out. These particular ones, I believe they're Chemlites, but yeah. Moving on, this one here is my water bottle pouch. As you can see, it's got my water bottle in it, stored upside down, for the reason of the mug is in here. So this is what you put hot chocolate, powder, drinks, anything that's not water doesn't go in the bottle. The bottle simply goes in there upside down. Now on my bottle, as you can see, I have a bit of sniper tape. Now this sniper tape was originally wrapped around the bottle, but it recently came off, so I just tied it on here. I've got to replace that soon, but if you get a bottle, definitely mark it, otherwise you're going to lose it. Right, so moving on, this middle pouch, we have got moving on this middle pouch, we've got mess tins. Now, some people say to put the mess tins in your webbing, some people say to have them in your Bergen. I'm thinking about possibly putting them in my Bergen, but since I've got new webbing and it's better and it's got more pouches, I'm thinking of just leaving it in there. But just two mess tins. Now, I did have a cloth in here. I don't know where it's gone now, but the reason, sometimes I'll put my rations in here, sometimes I won't, but the reason why you put a cloth in, you wrap a cloth around the smaller one, and you simply fit it inside. So that means when it's in there, it's not making a rattling noise, because that will alert the enemy if you're around. So you do not want any rattle. You want to jump up and down with your webbing, make sure there's no rattle in the webbing, because you don't want to be making noise when you're trying to be stealthy. So next pouch is at the top. I've got my next meal for my ration pack. I'll show you the complete ration pack in my next video. That'll be about my Bergen and what I've got in the Bergen. This one is not going to try and pronounce that one. Some Indian one. See if you can see that. Anyway, that's what it is. So we got that. We've also got, I've got a small dry sack that I haven't actually waterproofed it, can't bothered. But in here, I've got a whistle. I've got a normal like cigarette lighter. I've got a jet lighter. As you can see, maybe not. It's small on the camera, but I've also got some waterproof safety matches. So that is what we've got in this dry pouch. Next, underneath that, I've got my schmag, which is just basically a square green scarf, which is very useful for if your mess tins were hot, you needed to grab them, keep you warm at night, put it around your neck, use some camouflage around your face, and probably a variety of other things, perhaps quieting your mess tins with your schmag. That's quite a useful piece of kit. And at the very bottom, bit of a weird one. I just made this up myself, but it's a carabiner with some loops of paracord on it that I've tied at the ends and burnt so they don't unravel. Basically, the idea being is any mouldy piece, so if you look at the arm there, this strap, the idea being is you put it underneath and loop it round. It's a bit small, this one, but you could, what my idea was putting a bit of like foliage, bracken or something through that little hole, and that will hold in place, but I've never actually used them, so I might be taking them out of my kit. Right, so that was empty. So next one is another admin pouch. This one, I've got my first aid kit in. So in my first aid kit, it's just a basic one with things like, I have got some surgical tweezers, but blister plasters, gloves, bandages, scissors, plasters, antiseptic wipes, things like that. Right, next I do have my knee pads that I've got on a carabiner that I have put electrical tape around to stop the shine. Now sometimes I will, sometimes I won't have my knee pads on my webbing, because sometimes I wear them, sometimes I don't wear them. It kind of depends on what I'm doing, but yes. So the next one is a, oh, I've missed one. I've got my multi-tool pouch. So that is on the side, where I've just got my multi-tool here. It's probably a no-name one, so yeah, it's just basically, you know, the average multi-tool with a knife and that. Sometimes in cadets you're allowed to have multi-tools, sometimes you're not, so sometimes I'll take it out, sometimes I'll just leave it. The next one is this ammo pouch. Inside here, I keep a little pouch of my knife, fork and spoon. I have my Hexi stove and some cam cream. Now, the cam cream, I don't have my cadet issue one. The cadet issue one that they will give you will look something more like this. This one is a bit harder to use and it doesn't come off very easily. So I prefer to use this one, which is Apicock or something like that. This cam cream, you can buy it at quite a lot of army stores. That's where I got mine, army shops and things. And then I've got this Dragon Fuel stove, which is you also get issued. Now, a trick I like to do with it, as you can see, it's not been very clean from the last time I used it. You usually get a pack of 6 Dragon Fuel. Now, the Dragon Fuel, I like to open the pack and put 3 in these slots. I've only got 2 right now. 3 in those slots. Now, when you unwrap your stove, you'll have one of these inside it. Now, this is a windbreak or a wind block, so it goes in something like that, and then goes like that. So what I like to do to store it, to stop it rattling, is I put it in the middle, and these bits, as you can see, there's a prong. Now this prong, I bend slightly inwards on both sides, so when it goes down, it's holding that piece of metal and it won't rattle. So that's the basic idea. So moving on, the very last thing I've got on my webbing is some Viper Tactical combat gloves. See here on a carabiner, and that's just clipped onto the side. Now, people say you only get issued usually 2 magazines, but on one of my fieldcraft exercises, I've had more than 2. I've had like 6 magazines, so I've needed an extra pouch here. So I usually like to keep at least one of my ammo pouches empty, and I keep these 2 empty as well. So I've got 3 working ammo pouches. So that is what I have in my webbing.